Hi guys, so today I'm going to do something just really free-flowing. I'm going to make a crafty clipboard for a friend of mine, so I'll be sending this out. And so yeah, I'm just, clipboard from the Dollar Tree, and I want to use the Annalise papers, which are gorgeous, from Griffin, so I'm going to start with those things, and we'll just get right into it. So whatever I add on here, like little embellishments or things I want to gift, I will just come up with it at the time, so there's no plan on that. But it'll probably be very similar to what we did in the last swap. So let's just get started. So I will link these items in the description box. Those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. And I'm just going to start off by removing this guy. I just simply add paper to the clipboard, whatever it is. Some people like to do the Mod Podge thing, and that's really nice and a little old school, but it works. I just don't want to deal with that, so it's really nice to just get the paper down and then just start playing. So we're just going to hop right to it. In the last video or series on these crafty clipboards when we did the swap, I already pretty much came up with the numbers, so I don't even have to take care of that right now. What I do want to do though is look through these gorgeous papers. I used a little piece the other day for a diamond press video. And, this is my favorite one. If I can buy just tons of this paper right here, I would do that. But let's look through. So we do need paper for like the background and for like the pocket. This is a little bright, but maybe this piece would be nice for like a pocket area. So let me look through these guys. We have the 12 by 12 papers, and then we have like the 5 by 7s. Ooh, that one's pretty. Oh, maybe we go with this one and this one for the pocket. See, it's so bright, and then this one's so. Let me keep looking. I'll be right back. This one. So it's about on the back side of this like really groovy paper. This paper is really funky. I mean, actually, it looks not great like that, but it does look nice this way. I like the pattern because it's it has a lot going on. And then we're probably going to put some kind of lace that'll break it up. But that, actually, I like that direction. When I first put it, I had it this way, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Something about that bothers me. But this, since it looks like ribbon-like strips, I think that looks nice. But I already kind of put myself in the position to use this side. I kind of like this side better. We'll go with this side. Okay, so this background piece I'm going to cut down to 11 3/4 by 8 7/8. Those are the numbers I like. That's how I like it for it to look. That's how I recommend it for folks to use, but do whatever you like in your project. And this one I'm going to cut down to 5.5 by 9 7/8. So 9 7/8, 5.5 this way, okay? I'll be right back. So now that I have these cut down, of course you have lots of offcuts that you can definitely make other pretty things with. For me, paper ruffles, all these cute things, like these little guys, even some of these guys, even this little skinny piece. I mean, you can use it just to pop behind something. You can definitely even probably ruffle it, to be for sure. Okay, so with this guy, first thing I'm going to do is basically we're just going to glue it in, right? So I'm looking left to right, just kind of making sure it's about straight. And what we need to do is cut away this portion. So what I did last time, and what I'll do this time, is just mark it with a pencil. So like right there and right here. So right on the left and right of this silver piece here. And I believe this was like 1.125 or something deep. So we can see from basically the end. And, well, okay. I am going to bring the paper in just like 1/16 of an inch from the end, so you want to keep that in mind. So if I measure from there to here, yeah, about 1.125 inches. So where I put my little marks, if we just keep it nice and straight, which is not right now, and mark it about 1 inch and 1/8 or so, just like around here, that should be good. A little mark. And over here on this side too, and of course I'm eyeballing this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to do a good job there. Let's see, 1 inch and 1/8 or so, something like that. And then we can just draw our little line, something to cut on, dot to dot here, maybe a little crooked, and then from here just straight down, right? Okay. And I'm just going to cut that away. So let's get some scissors. And I'm just making that easy to do. Of course, you can stylize it more. Maybe even take this little piece that we cut out and kind of try to pop it back on that silver piece, but it's really not that noticeable. And then here I kind of start bending it a little bit just so I can get in there and cut on that straight line as well as I can. And if you know you have a lot of pencil marks, you want to erase them, you can definitely just go in and erase them. I will corner around these guys because I like the look of that, but there you go. So once it's corner around, it'll fit a little more snugly in there. Down here too, we have our pocket. And I was gonna say, let me see how I want to cut this. This is like, I mean, look at that. It's like perfectly symmetrical, even the orange and the pink stops. That's crazy. But we are going to take 1/2 inch off of this, so, you know, it's going to be a little different now. That's funny. I kind of like the way it's just so symmetrical. I hate to ruin that, but that's okay. So I'm going to bring out my scoring tool. I brought out a bunch of like dies. We're just going to have fun, guys. So on this side, I'm going to turn over to the other side. I mean, that's so pretty too, but 1/2 inch glue tab that's going to cover onto the back, 1/2 inch or so on this side, and just 1/2 inch on one of the sides. It doesn't matter because it's exactly the same top and bottom, so just turn it over here and I'll just pick the bottom. So you're basically making a glue tab at the bottom, so just know that. When I score these, I'm going to score them in a way that pushes out a little bit, that way, because this is the same width as our paper, and you know our paper cannot be in the same exact spot together. So when I score it, I'm pushing some of that excess out to make this a little bit more accommodating. Before I score this bottom one, I'm going to cut away this little piece. So where you have these junctions where, you know, where you scored right there, just take away that little, this pattern is so busy it's hard to tell, but you're just going to take away a little bit of that little square that you end up making right here. I'm also going to score this, not score it, what did I say, corner round, so a little bit of it's going to be cut off anyway. So we have that, and then this bottom piece. The bottom piece you can just score it any old, you know, normally I'm not paying attention if I'm scoring up or down or however. But there we have that. And I'm going to glue those together. Funny enough, my ATG ran out of tape the other day, and I don't know where my refills are, but I can refill it really easily. I have a video on it if you guys are interested, if you've never refilled your ATG or have a hard time with it. Either way, we're going to glue this to the base here. And like I said, I'm going to butt it up to the bottom, and I definitely scored it. Oopsie, sorry guys, that was loud. Again, I push the scoring out a little bit, right? That way it's not like buckling your paper so much. So if you need to readjust that, definitely do that. You can take a little bit off the side of your paper if that helps. But I am gluing it to the back side so that it nestles in together. I'm having the hardest time with my glues recently. And I keep saying I need to go get my little gifts from different swaps, and people send me my little glue stoppers. Anyway, so I'm going to hold that down, and then also glue this side down and glue this side down, okay? So when I come back, those are all glued down. So I'm going to go ahead and corner around, see if I have the right one. I already had to grab that. And you know what, I don't recall if I used the 1/4 inch last time or the round one. I feel like the 1/2 inch is probably a better option. Well, we're just going to go for it. So I'm using the 1/2 inch side. Yeah. And on this other one too. And down at the bottom I'll do the same. Just because I like that look, but of course you can do whatever you want. And there we are. So that's what I'm doing. And then just sticking that down. And since I said my ATG had just run out, I'm going to use liner tape, but I'm also going to use glue because I want to make sure that this stays down. So I'm going to take this right to the very edges, and then I'll peel away the carriers when I'm ready for that. But right now to like there, and all around. And just to like there. Okay, so I'll score, I'll put the, well, they used to call it stuff score tape, huh? All around, and I'll rip everything out, and then I put some extra right down here in the middle. I'll say this could have been my start from stash video, but I am using pretty much a lot of new things. So I also go around, just put some extra glue, because glue will be forever where this other stuff might not be. So just a little extra something to help you with that. Sorry about that scratchy noise. Sounds wonderful. Okay. And then I'm just going to bring this right in here. And the glue also helps you because it gives it a little bit of like slipperiness so that you can kind of adjust if you need to, but that looks really, really great. And once I've stuck it down where I think we're good, I will definitely take a bone folder or the like and really, really burnish that down, right? So I'm just gonna go around every edge and every little surface and burnish that down, and I'll be back, guys. So I want to give some of the stickers and things that are in here. So I'm going to go through this Annalise paper pack and the stickers and stuff that's in there and see if we can make something. Maybe we'll make like a little ruffle out of this, a paper ruffle that it's a cute little thing we can add. I mean, if we need it to be longer, we can definitely use these pieces. Last time what I did was I cut the piece and it was so small, so then I glued them together and I still made a nice paper ruffle that way, because this is basically an offcut that is just over 2 inches, so I would just cut it right in half. So maybe we'll do that with that guy. But let me grab some of the stickers. That's like one of the first easiest things we can work with, and I'll be right back. I just went into the sentiments and just a few things, because obviously this can't hold a ton of stuff and you honestly don't want them to get squished. Another thing you can definitely do is if you're giving stickers is maybe put them on an actual paper. And since these are stickers, you can definitely put glue on the back of this and they're going to come up because they're on their own carrier, and that will keep them more arranged. So maybe I'll do that. I was just planning on putting them in a bag, you know. So let's see how I end up doing that. And then we have these guys that I'll go through and pick some of these pretty flowers and things out. Kind of picking out, you know, obviously that's purple, but like things that coordinate with whatever's going on with what we have here. So I'll pick out some different things. How about a nice chair? I was gonna say rattan, I guess, chair? Anyway, so I'll be back. Some things, you know, the other day, or depending on when you watch this, I had made these little hearts from one of the slimline cut and emboss folders, so I'm going to include these in with these guys. These are stickers, obviously, and then I thought that'd be cute if we package them in here and then have these guys just kind of in there. So this is one of the, I don't know if this is a sticker, it looks like it. It was in the kit. So with some pretty random flowers and things like that. Okay, so we have those. For this guy, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we will mount it on something. Now you can definitely put it on some pattern paper. What I'm going to do with this is run it through and get some embossing on it. I think that'll be pretty. So I'm just going to pick an embossing folder, run this through, and I'll be right back. It's just a piece of paper that's like 4.5 by 6 or something like that. Use this. I think it's a Crafter's Companion embossing folder that I have here. So not 3D, not super embossed, because I'm going to stick things to it, so it's just this piece of paper here. Hopefully you can see kind of what's going on there. Just to make it a little prettier. Of course, we can definitely die cut it, something fun. For now, I'm just going to arrange these again. How did I have them? I don't recall. Something like this. We need a little space because we're going to clip it up here, possibly, and then just these guys. Just some different random sentiments. I think that looks cute, and I will just use regular glue, but you can definitely stick them down or even pop them up. But like I said, they have their own carrier, so they will come off and still be stickers, not impeded in any way, you know. So I'll be right back. For bags, I found this here too. So this is just like a 5x7 kind of little bag. You know, you can create a topper for it. It just depends, you know, how decked out, what are you looking for, you know. If you are going to make a topper for it, what I would say is put your stuff in upside down like this. So when you close it up, they can open it from the bottom without like destroying the topper you might put on it. Just an idea. I'm not really sold on if I'm going to do a topper or not, so maybe I should not close this yet. And this will be something that can stick like here. And then these guys, I'm just going to place in another bag like this, and so it's just some cute random, you know, ephemera bits and stickers that go along with everything there. These came from the collection. These are things I brought in from somewhere else, right? So I will get another little bag like this one and just pop these guys in it, and it will be over here. Sorry, I had to take a break for a couple days, so let's see where we kind of left off. I had mentioned that if I wanted to put like a topper, I would definitely close my little bags up at the bottom. That way you can put the topper in and the person doesn't have to destroy it to open it. So I'm going to do that with these guys. And there's a couple things. So we have this paper, and you know what I was saying, you can cut it, you can make like it's just an offcut, right? Maybe do something fun with it, or maybe make like a paper ruffle. But what I think I'm gonna do is use it, and maybe I'll use it on this side because I do like this print. You know, we can do this side to repeat what's going on down here. And then this is the little like stickers and ephemera pieces that I decided to include there. So I'm gonna again put that one also upside down. and something like this. And so I'm going to put a topper piece, but I was like, I'll use this offcut. So generally these things are like 5 inches, a little over 5 inches wide, 5 1/4. So this piece of paper is a little wider than that. Where are we at? We're at 5 1/2. Ooh, so I'm gonna do 5 3/8 and then take off the rest so it's still kind of even on either side. I don't know why I have that in my mind. And then it is 2 inches wide, just a little over. I'm just gonna score it at 2 inches, okay? So I'm gonna come back with that. And then I was like, oh, in the packaging, we have this piece that talks about what the paper is. I'm like, you know, I can use this. And actually it has Anna Griffin, like the info there, which is fine, or I can take it off. So I'm gonna use this also as a little topper. So 5 1/4, and we can cut this off at 2 inches also, just so it's the same as the other one, I suppose. Just over 2 inches, not the biggest deal. So both these I'm going to score them right in the middle, which is basically, you know, 1 inch. But I'll be right back. And you guys know me, I already forgot that quickly that I was going to use the opposite print side, this side. That's pretty stuff. It is kind of off, you know what I'm saying, like the print, and that kind of bothers me more than anything. So I will use this side, even though I said I was going to use the opposite side. So we have that, and then we have this piece. And then we will have a little cutting. So I have this card here, and I already did a tutorial or a review of this punch, a weird little punch, but I did it because I didn't want to have to review it in this video, just to keep this video kind of moving right along. So generally, if you look at this picture, I guess I should have said, if you punch these close enough, you can get a pretty shape, right? From these guys, like this guy will be like this side, and then again. But it says any size punch, and that's why I was just trying any size piece of paper. So just keep that in mind. And it is showing you how it's going to cut here. Now that's opposite of this, and I'm going to do it the way the card looks. So with the card, if I go in this way, I believe it'll punch the way I'm thinking. Oh, actually it's still opposite, but that's okay. See, this thing is so weird. So this is, anyway, I was just going to get all tongue-tied. So yeah, I brought it in this way, it made this punch, and now I'm just going to flip it and bring it in the same way so that the design looks the same. Okay? And I'm just going to do that side because that's basically what's going to be on the front. So I'm going to just glue it on here. You can punch the other side too if you like, but I'm just going to do it like that. Okay? So I'll do the same thing with this one. And I'll be right back. The other shape, the one that's more round. So as you're playing with the punch, you'll see how it punches in different ways. It's really odd, to be honest. Especially remembering how to turn it or not, or whatever it is. And one day I'll figure out what size your little strip of paper needs to be for it to line up perfectly, but I have a feeling it's going to be hard to line it up perfectly to get that perfect, like this shape. So it has to be about this size, whatever. If I measured that, that's how big your paper should be, you know? So for these little topper bits, just for having fun, I'm just putting some liner tape. I need to find my ATG refill so I can just use that, but for now I'm using liner tape, and I have plenty of it from like all the Spellbinders kits. And just put this in here a little bit higher up because I want that birthday sticker to show really nicely, and then that's it. So that's a really easy topper just to make this look prettier that we can then clip up here. Okay, last time I did shakers and all these things. Again, this has nothing to do with my swaps. Please do not get this confused with like, oh, I did this or she did that or whatever else, or for next time. This is just for fun. I don't even know what I'm going to put down in here, to be honest. Haven't thought that far yet. So let's do that. I am going to include like this card blank with its full its envelope, excuse me, and some 5x7 papers that come with like the paper pack. So I will do that. That'll be one thing, and then some die cuts or something. So anyway, I'll be right back. How fun is that? Put both those guys on here. That'll be part of that. I don't really need to clip them down, but I'm just kind of showing you what I'm thinking. And even at that, I mean, that is pretty thin, guys. I mean, crazy. Okay, so I want to give one of these. And here, thank you guys for reminding me when I said my colors are blush and bashful. Shelby is Julia Roberts' character. And I was like, if I could think of how Sally Field would say her name, I could remember her name, like, you know, with all the different lines from that movie, but I could not remember it. And you all reminded me, so thank you. So I'll include a gold envelope. And again, everything that goes in here can't be super thick, so maybe I would have included a couple of them and a couple envelopes, but I want to include some 5x7 papers, so they are in this paper pack. So I'll just go through these guys and include some beautiful papers. Again, I really love this design. Maybe we'll include like the blue one. So pretty. And then a couple accent ones. So let me go through this and see which one I would like to include. Maybe this guy to bring some of that pink back. Oh, this is pretty. On the back has like purple. And one more. So I'll be right back. Do those. So 3 5x7. These all fit in those same plastic sleeves if I wanted to pop them in there, but I think I'm gonna leave them just like this, like paper. I think just for that tactile, beautiful feel. So those would slide into the pocket, which we'll do in just a minute. And then, so recently I was doing a, what's the thing called? My start from stash type video, and I was showing that these guys, what did she call them again? I was gonna say the wrong thing again. Cartouche cut and emboss folders, and I have stickers that go along with them. So I thought, you know what if I cut some of these from colors that coordinate, and then the person will have some of these guys that they can kind of play with and make cards and whatever else. So more sentiments basically, and I'll include some of the sentiment stickers, like the shapes that go with these. So I'm just gonna run these through. Whatever it happens to be for my machines. This one feels like it really got cut into. That feels weird. So we'll see what we can. Whatever I find out with whatever machine I end up running through, I'll let you know what the sandwich was that worked the best, and I'll be right back. So 3 shims. This is the basic sandwich, like the original Platinum 6. So if you're using like the universal system, it would be the plate, the B plate, and then 1 cutting plate. And then I used 3 shims, 3 plastic shims. I love these plastic shims. I'm telling you, if you have another machine, just get them, just because they're so good. They're reusable, you know, they work so well. So that's what I did, and I think that is a good sandwich for these particular plates. Now, the other day I had used the new Slimline Hearts, and I was like, ooh, that was a little too much. So now I know that one should also basically be a very similar sandwich. So it's just your basic thing. Here, the old system is the A plate, you know, your base plate, 1 cutting plate, and 3 of the shims, and I think that looks really good. I'm missing a little part down here, but again, with the one before it, this is what's interesting, the little 3D cut and emboss folder I used before it did it perfectly well, but this time I still missed a little something here, so you know, what are you gonna do? But it worked really well with the 3rd folder. I don't know why that middle folder, the 2nd one I used, didn't take as well, but it's the same sandwich, and you saw how well this came out, like really, really well. And this other one just missed a little bit. Where was it? Like right on the edge here. So, I don't know what to tell you. But I'll be right back. So again, you just gotta work with things. I mean, you figure it out, and then you kind of, if you use them often enough, you'll keep that in mind. So I'm gonna try to remember basic plates, 3, you know, of the shims, and then go from there if it's still not tight enough. But again, always work up. Do not overload your machine and just to see if like, just get the most pressure and get it done once. No, because sometimes what happens is these guys will ruffle up real ugly, or your machine is just not gonna be, it'll be worse for the wear, let's just say. So I always start with the thinnest amount that gets the job done, and I work up. So, all right, I'll be back. Oh, so funny enough, I ran this green paper through that same one that gave me, like the 2nd one I used, that gave me a little trouble. And I didn't even increase the pressure. I just ran it through and then ran it back, and here we go. So didn't change anything about it, just ran it through twice, basically, back and forward, I guess, or forward and back, however. So I have some pink and some green. I think these colors really go really well. This is just some double-sided Crafts Companion paper that I literally just came across when I was like rearranging things in here, so that's really nice. I guess I can pop these in there. So we have some different little sentiments. And then I have this set of mini holiday sentiment stickers that I'm sure I will never go through my whole entire life, so I would like to share some of these too. And, oh, I even have some of these guys from before. But I try to just do the circles and the ovals. I don't know if you noticed, there's also a square shape. Because I think, yeah, these are just basically circles and ovals. So I thought what I can do is take like half of these. And, oh, you know what? I use the guillotine to make it look nicer. So I'm just going to cut them like this, and then, you know, whatever's on there, that person will receive those, my friend here. And then I have the ovals, and I'll cut some of these down too. And that'll just be something I can give. And I'm going to see if they have different sentiments. I feel like they all are the same things, but just in different shapes, right? Well, this one's a little bit different. This one has more Merry Christmas kind of stuff. Let's do the everyday kind of sentiments. I'll be right back. Random sentiments, again in ovals and circles. And if you want to stage this in here a little differently, I just kind of gotta pop them in there. It's fine. And still opening at the bottom in case I decide to put a topper on this. And it'll probably be very similar to the topper I did on the other guys. I might even trade these out. No, that's fine. I would say I might trade these out for the ones that are up top because these are kind of small, like short to go into this pocket, but I think we'll be okay. So I'll definitely put a topper on it so it doesn't get lost. So I'll be right back. And I'll probably tuck it in here, like I said. And again, I made this pocket the way I did for the swap because I wanted it to be flat. So the pocket's flat. You can only stick so many things in there, right? But for right now, so I'm just putting stuff in here. I don't know. Oh, sorry, that was loud. So we have our papers, that card base that was notched out. And look at that, even this many sheets of paper, which is basically an envelope, a card, that's obviously 2 sheets, and 3 sheets. It is like snug. So I'll pop that there. I am gonna put some kind of ribbon or something here. Now I was kind of thinking about it because I was like, ooh, I can make a paper ruffle. But we can talk about that in just a minute. So let's see what this is looking like. And then a bunch of fibers up here. I think that'll be lovely. Oh, see, I'm already switching this up. Something like that. It has a lot going on. There's a lot of fun things, and look at how flat that is. Of course, I don't need to keep discussing that. This is, again, a mailer, in my opinion. Obviously, you'd pay more because of the size and the thickness. It is thicker than a 1/4 inch, but it's not that much thicker than a 1/4 inch. I would say maybe we're pushing 1/2 inch, like in this bulkiest spot. Possibly. Let me get some ribbon and think about what else I want to add to this to decorate it. Of course, some beautiful, fibers up here, and then I think I'll be done. It's tough because, I'm trying to keep it in the spirit of Anna Griffin. These are already different kind of colors. They're a little more elevated than what she normally does, but I like the pop of white. But then, cream color, because it is off-white like what she normally does. I don't know. I like that crisp look. Let's see. I would say, what do you guys think? But, you're not here in live to talk with me about it, but let's see here. I like the shape of this one, honestly, because I feel like this, whatever's going on here feels very, I think 70s, just kind of old school to me. And I feel like this little dot has that look to it, something kind of a little different. But then we have this one. And I think these are both from Hobby Lobby from a while back. I try to, whenever they're on sale, I just hoard a bunch of it and then we go from there. That has that little macrame look, which is really fun. I guess we could do both, which would be interesting, but I feel like this is... that would be a little finicky to play with. But still quite fun. I just don't know that I can get that done in a nice way. Oh, man. Let's go with this one. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with that one. And so I'm just gonna wait for my heat tool to heat up, and in the meantime I was thinking about making a paper ruffle. I wasn't sure, but this is 12 inch by 1 inch. I usually do like 1.5, so let's just get going. So with my paper ruffles, what I normally do, let's see, do I come forward or backwards? Do I have one to look at? I always keep one on hand here, so this is the kind of thing I like. So yeah, forward. And at an angle, you guys, I don't know if you can see that. I do have a free Cricut file that you can use if you like. And then back at that angle, so it's kind of straight again. Up in a weird way, so it's angled up again. And then kind of back down to straight is what I would call it. Right, so that's one ruffle kind of made. And then again, depending on how you make your ruffles. And then back again, forward. I'm kind of doing this quickly because I've done this many times in other videos. Forward, back, forward, and I usually end up with 3. I feel like this time I might have still 3, but I have a lot left over here, so I'm just going to cut that off. Now you can run this through your sewing machine, or we can hot glue it, which is maybe what we'll do right now, so we can just get it done quickly and then add some other cute things, or not use this at all. I'm just showing you how to use up scraps. Usually I cut that by eye. I usually do like a little half, so I know where I'm going, and then up to that middle point. But the other one I just kind of cut it, and I like the way that looks. Alright, so that is a paper ruffle we can use. Maybe on another project, if not today. Let's see if my hot glue gun is probably not even close. Well, it is coming out, so let's see. You know, lace is always tricky for me because I'm like, when it comes off, is that the back or the front, or do you just pick the side you like better? I feel like it's unraveling this way, so it should be going this way, you know? And I like to keep it nice and clean, so whatever's going on here, okay, good. Ooh, let's put it this way. And let's look at this thing again. It's coming down this way. And of course, you don't have to have any of these things in there. I just loaded it up and now I'm like, no, I'm gonna decorate it, which is kind of silly. But that's how I do, you guys know that. I'll probably cut this right about here. And I'll just have that cut, so all I have to do is stick it down. Again, you do not have to leave your stuff in your pockets for this. In fact, I would recommend taking that stuff out. A thin bead of glue, and I'm just going to run right along that edge with my lace and just continue on down this way here. Okay, I'll be right back. Down on there. Just a little something. Okay. And with this guy, what we're going to do, and I'm telling you, it's probably easier to run it through a sewing machine, but on this back side, I'm going to put some hot glue and push this down in the way that I think looks good. I'm trying to get the hot glue everywhere. It actually surprised me that some came out that top. I don't even know how that happened. Where'd that come from? Anyway, I'm just holding it together. And then again, a little glue back here, and I'll be more careful because I don't know where that other glue came from. Right in there. And again, in a way that's touching both, you know, the zig and zag. And then here too. And then you can also stick it down back here, which is basically what we need to do, not just also can do, it's like you have to. And I think I'm going to get some of the excess glue again, so the way I put it there. Should we go that way? Yeah, I'll go this way. I was just trying to see which piece of the ruffle I wanted to go behind. And I'm keeping it pretty flat because obviously hot glue has some dimension to it. And that's basically, I mean, if you're sticking this down to a project, you can probably glue it down and not even have to do anything with this. But since I'm not quite sure if I'm using it today or not, and just to put it away, I'm going to put a little glue here and a little bit of glue right here. And that'll hold these guys down. You can do it on this tail too. And then on this side too. Literally just gluing this in place. That one kind of wanted to stay on its own anyway already, so we'll just, you can put glue on this other side, but it's such a small space, I don't think it's necessary. And this guy is a little bit longer, so we'll just go ahead. If you want to top this with like tulle or something, you want to tuck it in there, you could have already included it while you're gluing. I guess I will stick this one down. And let me get rid of that. You may or may not use this, I don't know, but that's just another way of getting your paper ruffle without a sewing machine. And this is what I'm saying, like, this looks really cute. I mean, I'm telling you, ruffles just are adorable, maybe with some other, whatever it might be, to finish that off. I would say, you know, with Anna Griffin, we gotta do some flourishes. I don't know if I know where my flourish cut and emboss folders are. Let me look around. Maybe I'll just find some ephemera that's already flourished for me. I'll be right back. I'm gonna find some other things to decorate with, and we'll finish. As I'm looking for flourishes, I got distracted. I was like, oh, I should get fibers for my tassel area. So I just picked out some of that same lace that we had done earlier, some like kind of pinky peachy organza. This green grosgrain gives me Anna Griffin vibes, so I'm gonna put this too. And I'll probably tie it with some seam binding. Again, you know, you can go wild with this or just whatever it is that you like. I just think this looks really nice. I would like a stronger pop of pink since this paper has something like that going. But I think that'll be good for today. Let's see here. I usually just get everything that I'm going to use at once and I line it up and I cut it all at once, but this time I did a little bit differently. So let me get these guys going. Yeah, my hot glue gun is still on. What I'm going to do is tie this on and then put some seam binding to hold that down. So with this little guy, I love this flower from the ephemera pack or the sticker pack that's in what we have here. And then I was thinking if we did that and maybe I found this ornamental foil stickers, you guys, ready to go. So I'm sure something in here will look cute tucked behind that guy. So let me kind of look through, and I like these better than what's in the sticker pack for this, the Annalise paper, because these are flat. The ones, everything in the Annalise paper is dimensional, so these are flat stickers. And oh my god, I mean, we can pop these anywhere. But if I have, let's say if I have the butterfly here, which is where I want to put it. So I'll play with this and see what kind of foil I can, what flourish I can find that'll look nice. And then we'll put this hot glue gun away. I'll be right back. Something like this. We have our stuff, and I did find a pop of pink, you guys. When I was putting away my other things, I was like, I do need a little something. So I brought out this hot pink kind of color, and I think that'll work for us. So we'll put those over there. And then this little guy can just be kind of tucked in here. So this is a sticker, so we can definitely just take the back off if possible. Oh, you guys, I broke my nail this morning. I already did a video with that broken nail. I went out to the garden for the first time in weeks, and I had realized some of my bulbs were sticking out of the dirt like a pot, because when the gardener came, he really took all of the weeds out of everything, because that's what I have him do like once a year. And trim the palms and, you know, pull all the weeds out. And I was like, oh, so I was just shoving it back in, and I broke a nail. So I guess if it was going to break, you know, whatever. So I'm going to stick this guy. I feel like we need something more, but that's okay. Again, it's tough because I want to keep things flat, so maybe I would have popped this guy up. Something like that, just in there. And then I want to put this butterfly, but I also want something here. So I was thinking maybe a Tim Holtz word or something like that. Oh, where are they? Here we go. See? Small talk. I think I have a black small talk. That might be better. Let me see what I have. Oh, but this one I think is like wisecracking, isn't it? Of course I talk to myself. Sometimes I need an expert opinion. That's so funny. Let me see what I'm looking for. And this is pretty much me. I do this thing called what I want. I'll be right back. Too much of this kind of thing, but I was like, well, maybe some of these tickets. And I was kind of playing around with them. Just the colorway obviously is different. Well, it's not that it's different. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I need to keep it all Anna or if we can throw in some Tim Holtz and see what happens, you know? I need to stick that down. I feel like this doesn't really go with the rest of the vibe. That's all. Okay, let me keep looking for words, and I'll be right back. I don't need my hot glue gun on still. So I got these, Her Beautiful Life and With a Joyous Spirit. I think those are beautiful sentiments or something fun, right? Not really sentiments, just a little something different. What I'm going to do is actually probably stick them down with a little bit of hot glue too, being very careful. Oh, sorry guys, that was loud. Of course I stuck it down in a playful way, which I kind of didn't mean to. Let's see here, Her Beautiful Life. That stuck down really fast. It's that sticker and then of course the hot glue. I'm just going to stick it right there. Okay. And this guy, even though it's a sticker, I'm going to put hot glue, and I guess if the person wants, they can take it off and use it, which I don't think they'll take it off, but who knows. Okay, I'm gonna stick that down. I'm gonna put a little hot glue under this, and then we'll be right back. I'm like, we're gonna wrap it up, but then I'm like, oh, more and more. Ooh, look at these little pink ones. Ooh, even the blue. There's not a lot of blue in what I chose here, but there's blue in the paper pack, but so I'll leave that out. But we do have pink and darker pink. That might be fun. Oh, let's do that. Kind of like a pinky purple. I'm gonna add some of these guys. So I'm adding like a medium-sized dot, like in here somewhere. Oh, come on, buddy. Like out here, and a couple of smaller ones. You know, I like my 3s and 1s generally. Oh, come on. And then maybe I'll put one here. Should we put it here? And one there. And one down here. Sorry, you totally missed what I was doing. You guys, I had it down here, so I put one there and there and there. So it's like on the little ruffle, and then these guys are kind of out here. And, okay, let's put those back and see how nicely I put these back. I just kind of put it here, close it back up, and we're good to go. And people always ask, where did you get those? Diamond Press, HSN. most of the time, like those guys, those are from review, but I definitely pick them up if and when needed. And they come in and out of stock too, guys, so they're not always in stock. I know sometimes I'll use like those ones that were kind of like iridescent that they had done. And those only brought in one time. Okay, so we have this guy, and you can definitely knot it on here or tie it if you want, or just kind of, I took like the halfway mark roughly, and I just put it here, and let me kind of get this going a little nicer. Just kind of pay attention to the different colors and what they're doing. Okay, and then I'm going to tie that with a piece of seam binding. The funniest thing about the seam binding is I don't even know where the roll is. It's sticking out of a drawer next to me, and I just keep pulling it. So one day if it gets stuck, I guess I'll have to fish it out. But for now, I just have the end of it. It's a huge seam binding roll like this I got on Amazon a long time ago. And I think this is the color Natural, even though it's really kind of white. Let me just look at this again. We're a little bit off. Just a little more even. And I'm just going to tie them, but you can definitely knot those guys. Tie them in a way that looks decent. Just kind of pulling these guys back down. Give them a little tie. Now you can tie it, see I did it a little bit tight, but maybe I shouldn't do that because it might put a kink in the ribbon, you know? So maybe a little more loosely. Okay, and I'm just putting a bow on there. And I'll play with it until it looks about right, but I mean, that looks pretty good. Hey, there we go. Just kind of a fun bow. And take that away. Again, you want to stick something on there, you can definitely do that, but I think this is good to go, you guys. So just a little happy mail I have for a friend here. So our pocket, again, we have that little lace that I added there. Just did our pocket, again, relatively flat. Of course, you can do whatever you want for your own projects. If we do this for a swap again, it definitely needs to be flat, just the way I showed you. Little pearls, got a little flourish, did a little paper ruffle. And that paper ruffle, honestly, if you wanted to, and I didn't really take the time, you could definitely just flatten it out some more, you know. But it has a lot of character. Then here we have our beautiful fibers that the person can then use, they would like. And up here we have, what did I do? We have some sentiment stickers on that embossed background. Looks really pretty, a nice pretty presentation. Stickers and like big ephemera pieces that were in the thing, all kinds of different stickers in there. Some little doily hearts that I thought coordinated. Hearts from that slimline heart die. And of course, remove everything when you go to decorate. I got a little hot glue on there. So we have those. And then down here we have those beautiful pieces of paper, a card blank that I had punched on the corners, the envelope that matches, and down here we have those little cartouche carriers with stickers that the person can use, you know, whatever it is they need for that occasion. So just some really fun stuff. And if you have like a little label maker, a little sticker, or something you want to print out, I would definitely on the back stick my little info, which I think I just ran out. I always have like a roll of them right here, so I'll have to print some out in just a second. But I have like a little thing here with like my labels that just say handmade by VianneyCreates or curated by VianneyCreates. It depends on what I was making. Oh, do I have one here? Yeah, this one just says handmade by VianneyCreates. How cute. So I'm almost done with those. And just a really fun Happy Mail. Again, I mean, look at the thickness of this. By the time you just put it in an envelope, it'll fit in one of those big business manilas. If you want, I would cover it with something to protect the front at least, right? Or the flat rate padded mailers. I'm sure it fits in the flat rate regular mailer, that larger one. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box if there's any links that are pertinent. And hope you know, if you want to try it out, have fun. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.